Well guys, so this is my second video today. I miss doing as many videos. I'm feeling better, so that means that I'm doing more. We just talked about these. So now we are gonna talk about Wharnies. Wharncliffe, sheep's foot, whatever you really want to call them. They are blades that are designed a little different than some of the other knives that I normally would carry. So hang on a second and let me, I moved something. I'll be right back. Well, what I was going to talk about is Wharncliffe and sheep's foot blades. So this style blade is a staple of, you know, your multi-bladed pocket knives. A lot of times have two different small traditional blades, and then a lot of times they'll have a little what they call a sheep's foot blade, which is something along the lines of this. Now, there's different variations of that. You have the rounded back, so sheep's foot, Wharncliffe, they're pretty much the same style thing, as opposed to the distal taper on a sheep's foot is less. It doesn't have as much of a point that you could use for, let's say, stabbing as, say, these ones. Now, the other big difference is the direction the blade sweeps. If you see, your typical blade sweeps up to a point this direction, and then there's probably a little bit of drop, like drop point, clip point, you know, those different things. And then you have these. So I have two different. This one sweeps a lot stronger than this one does, this one has a longer belly. The nice thing about these is when you're using this knife, you have this nice flat area for work, and then it comes up, which can be nice, but if you are cutting something and you're cutting along a narrow object, you're gonna have constant cut, and then it can drop off. You don't get that with these. You have constant pressure the entire length. You have constant cutting pressure the entire length of that blade, and there is no whoop, I lost my pressure, whoop, it slips off. That makes them amazing for doing tasks, labor tasks. This, I wish I had had one of these when I was in the military. I wish I had had this knife when I was in the military. So many tasks that this does, and does really well. And one of the other things it does amazing is, as opposed to this where you have that point that drops down, you can get this up under something and keep that tip from puncturing whatever's in, like say you're opening a package or a container. You can stick this in and start to cut, lift it up, and you can go the length of that and not have that tip pop in and damage whatever you're, cutting. It's great for opening things, bags, things like that. Set it down and just run it up through. You're not gonna have to worry about that lifting the tip or getting the tip down and cutting into stuff, because you have this little buffer. They cut amazingly well. They are just a blade shape that I had kind of never really gotten into. I always had this, and I know it was a great work knife, and I carried it, but I didn't ever have something like this. And then I got into sharpening some of the stuff for Chris and Elliot. I did all the Maker's Choice speeds. I started to like them. I carried a couple of them. So I'm I see the values of having this knife, a Wharncliffe knife, Wharncliffe, yeah, there we go, I said it right, not Wharncliffe, Wharncliffe knife in your arsenal of things to carry, because they do so many things amazingly well. Not to say it's a better design than this, which is, an amazing design. It's the, your drop point. This would be drop point. I think this would be more considered a clip point. Just depends on the knife. They all have their own, specific uses and rigors. Now, would you be able to skin an animal with this? Not nearly as well as with this. The reason is because if you're cutting, you're going to have that whole thing try to bite in. If you've got a knife that's got more of a rounded surface, you can drag that along and not cut too deep and pop the skin. This gives you a little bit more of a controlled cut when you're, say, skinning an animal. That's why you see skinning knives have got a really, really pronounced belly. They're pretty much all belly. Instead of having that flat area, they're basically, that's what you get on a skinning knife, because you don't want that straight, that flat area. So blade designs, different blade designs have their own specific, pluses and minuses. This blade shape has got a lot of significant pluses and very few minuses. Tontos have some distinct negatives about them. They're not the Americanized Tonto, I should say. The Japanese style traditional Tonto, not that bad, but you run into some significant problems with a Tonto. So, they are more designed, an Americanized Tonto is pretty much just designed to be used for knife fighting. Pretty much. A lot of people carry them as EDC knives because, they have that big flat, and then you have a little chiseled area at the front. But for the day-to-day tasks that I carry out with a knife, I don't need a Tonto. Tonto's the last thing I'm going to need. I don't use it. I'm not in the military anymore. I don't need something that is a capable fighter. I need something along the lines of this that has a nice flat area to get some work done that I can get up in and do some work with, and a nice little rounded area up here if I need some delicate cutting tasks around. So, my sister just texted me. So, it all depends on what you're doing, what the blade you're going to want is. So there's a lot of different blade designs out there. The karambits, a recurve on a blade, not something I would ever really want. I don't need a recurve. I do see the significant cutting capability of them. I have a knife that's a recurve, and it's my Spartan, my cold steel Spartan, and it gets used specifically for camping. It's the only purpose that knife has. It goes with me if I'm camping because it's really robust. It's got the big front for chopping, and it's got some detail work that you can do behind it, and it's got the triad lock, which makes it about as robust. Sorry, hope that didn't show up on the screen. My phone told me my battery's almost dead. So it has a really robust locking system and things like that. So, I just kind of wanted to talk about this blade shape and how effective and useful it could be, because it gets overlooked. I overlooked it for a long time. A lot of people like them. I just kind of overlooked them and just pretty much looked at them as something that would be on a small fixed blade or a small folder as a multi-blade. I did not, until I've carried a few of them, realize how much you can do with this knife and how powerful that edge, that cutting edge can be, because you have got, as you're cutting and pushing down on something, your cutting force actually will amplify at the point, because just as you're going, you're amplifying that at the tip is the most, and you don't lose any of that pressure at the tip with a sheep's foot, a straight edge, Wharny, whatever you want to call it. You don't lose that up here, that power that's up there at the front that you can really utilize for doing some serious heavy duty cutting. So guys, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to touch base on it. Both of these knives are extremely good work knives. This one, not a lot of people would frown, would skirt away because it's a very expensive knife, would skirt away from using this as work knife. I don't. My knives all get used. But something that's this size, so much cutting power. That's the thing, too, with a small blade like this, with it all being straight and usable cutting edge, so much more useful in a small blade like this than, say, a drop point or a clip point would be in this blade size. So when you're looking at a small blade with a lot of cutting power, this, especially with this one is hollow ground. This is that hollow ground cold steel Tough Light. My dad got this for me one year. These cut very, very, very well for a small knife. There is so much ability to use this in so many different situations because of its ability to cut so well because of the blade shape. So, and they can be for certain tasks a little safer. You're not going to worry about, like, especially like I'm saying, if you're cutting, you get up towards the tip, is it going to slip off? There's some things about that make it a little bit better on a small blade, especially. And there's a whole reason that the nautical knives, Navy knives, are always more of a sheep's foot, less of a point. Like, it just rounds down a lot harder. Does not have, like, as far as a tip, not much at all. Hang on a second, I'll go get mine and I'll show you that. I have my old original sailor's knife, bosun's knife from when I was in the Navy. Hang on just a second, we'll look at it. See what I'm saying? This is more like the blade on that pocket knife. It does not have as much of a point. But we used these because you could cut line and get a good purchase, the full length of the blade. So I'd had these, but I just, I saw them as something we used on the ship. I've had this for years. Has a marlin spike up back. But these, there's a reason that the mariner's knives are almost always this blade profile. So, all right, guys. That's it. That auction is not doing well. The auction's not doing well at all. I'm very disappointed. There's a good chance I'm going to take that auction down. I'll give it till Friday, but if I am not getting any bids on it, I'm going to take it down. I'm going to have to figure something else out. So we'll see. But shirts. I am going to do a video and we're going to talk about shirts. There's a good chance that I could get shirts made. And if you guys want to order them, I just kind of need heads up on how many you guys are going to want so I can place an order. So, all right, guys, I got to go. I really do need to get off of here because my phone's almost dead. That's the only reason. It's not like I have a lot going on today. So, all right, guys. I got a straight razor I got to sharpen, and then I got to go with my daughter ice skating. So you guys take it easy, and I will see you next time.